I'm very happy to be here, and let's get this started. So I had to do a little tribute to one of my favorite films of all time, Enter the Void, and since I'm in France and it's a French film, so I just had to do this, if you know what that is. So I want to start off with basically, cry0’ is a brand new ransomware as a service operation, and I wanted to talk about how they're using ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, to extort their victims. So a little bit about me, if you don't know who I am. I'm a senior threat intelligence researcher and certified dark web investigator at Flare. And I also am a passionate cat mom. I love photography. I love astronomy as well. The crazier and more theoretical the astrophysics, the more I love it. In my spare time, I run, I play badminton, and I play a lot of tennis as well. So if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, that is the QR code to go to my LinkedIn. Also, some of you may know me from my side projects, so I also am one of the core members of Ransomlook. I also help out with Ransom Isaac and Curated Intelligence. So these are all community-based initiatives and open source projects that you can join and help out the community in threat intelligence. So the thing is that ransomware has typically operated in a specific way. So when we look at the old world, right, and how ransomware infrastructure was built, it didn't take very long for law enforcement to figure out how to basically disrupt and also to seize all of that infrastructure. So the thing is that the old world, the old way of doing things depended on hosting, traditional bulletproof hosting or VPS or hosting it at home or something like that. So you had to tie your onion and your infrastructure to hosting, right? And this is how we were able to take down some of the biggest ransomware operations of our time, like Hive, Alfie, Lockbit, Ragnar. We all were able to disrupt the infrastructure by seizing their onions, and even Alfie was pretty hilarious because the law enforcement was seizing it, and then since both of them controlled the private key at the same time, they were able to do a cat and mouse game of unseize it, seize it, unseize it, unseize it. So again, this is all basically dependent on this infrastructure and how we are today. So we need the threat actors are changing this. They're adapting, right? They're not going to stay if something keeps getting seized. And I love seeing the Canadian flag on a seizure page like this. So what we're trying to do now is trying to understand what the threat actors are going to be doing next, right? Because right now, this is how most of them do this. They have an operator. They're basically hosting Tor sites through bulletproof hosters, or just typical we see even hosting services just use any VPS. They have their victim portal, their shame page, and then law enforcement just takes it down. So here's where cry0’ comes in. So cry0’ is trying to change the game a little bit, and they're using ICP. And so how they're doing this is a screenshot from their advertisement, for their recruitment for affiliates on Tier 1, aka T1, which is a new replacement and a replacement answer to RAMP after the seizure of RAMP. So basically, cry0’ is going to say, hey, we think that if we offer our negotiation or payment portals or client negotiations through ICP, victims don't have to download Tor. They don't have to engage with us over Tor. Anybody can just use a regular browser and just go straight through the clear web and hit us right away. Also, it's distributed, right? So how ICP works is you have these canisters, and these canisters are basically smart contracts that you can deploy code on. They can execute logic, and also they can host data, up to 400 gigabytes of data. Also, Cry0 is like, okay, so we got this figured out, the public side of things, and now on the back end, when they're looking at their encryptors and they're looking at the way to operate their RAS, they're like, okay, we're gonna change things a little bit because a lot of these RASs now, once they get too big and there's too much heat on them, they're known to exit scam or rug pull underneath all of their affiliates. So now what they're doing is that they're having all of their encryptors signed by the affiliates themselves. So now there's two signatures that are required to decrypt the victim data. You need the affiliate's key, and then you need Cry0's key, the development key. And they use SM2 for this symmetric encryption there. So it's also, again, they advertise FUD, polymorphism, and for anti-detection, like polymorphic code. But what's really fascinating is just how many different types of cryptocurrencies they also can take. And we're gonna take a quick look at how it looks like behind the scenes of Cry0 in just a second. So this is what a typical portal looks like, right? So this is the Cry0 basically victim page. And what you can do is we are actually going to go and do a little bit of an investigation, a live demo of what this looks like. So this, at the very top, you see the observed portal URL. So this is what they're gonna give you in the ransom note, and this is where they're gonna tell you to chat with them. And then you can isolate the canister ID, which is the first thing before ICPO.io, or it could change, like the gateway can change. Like the gateway for here is ICPO.io. And so what we're gonna do is we're actually going to go take a quick look into this because you have canisters, you have the cheat cane cryptography, you've got the subnets to look at, and we have got the internet identity and governance, like seeing who controls each canister and who, the accounts and the addresses. So actually we're going to take a quick look at all of that right now. So let's just jump into this, and we are going to dive into it. So this is the victim page from Cry0. And this is how they're going to basically tell you to pay. And you can select your Bitcoin, you can select your Ethereum, you can select your Monero, and you have this here, and you can also scan. But what we're interested in is this address right at the top here. So we're gonna take this, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into, so this is an annoying part of doing forensics for this type of crypto is because you have to use like 3 different explorers to do one thing. I wish one explorer could do the whole thing. So we're gonna search that. This is gonna give us basically the canister ID and the account. So this account, every canister has an account number, and basically every account is signed by a SHA-256 address right here. So also, this account, this canister, is controlled by these 2 controllers. So what we want to do is we want to actually take the first one right here, and we want to bring that out here. Just going to delete this space in front. And so we have these 2 IDs here. So also, we can see that it's the same controller. So this controller is governing the other container as well. So now we got 2 canisters and 1 controller at the top. So what we're gonna do, and everything gets a different, unique account ID, right? And a unique hash. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go back, and we're gonna take this, and we're going to go and search for, of course, live demo gods. There we go. And now we're going to go search for this controller. This controller has an account right here with 7.7 ICP. So those are the tokens, the credentials. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this and we're going to paste it. And there we go. So now we can see that this account, this current account, sent a bunch of, they burnt to pay for the hosting on this account. And on the 9.7776 ICP, that's where it came from. So this main account at the bottom right here is what's funding this page here. So let's go back to our quick slides for a second, and let's recap on what we just saw. So we saw the controller, and we saw the governed canisters. But the one on the left is what we're looking at. This controller is funded by a really, really big account. And I want to show you that this is a new type of doing like crime for ransomware, because now we're getting into the world of how they're using different types of crypto to basically go from from bridging their cryptos and really making it murky to track. Not only is it decentralized, but we're going to have a look at and see just how convoluted this can get. So the first transaction that we saw was from one account, it went to another account, and that was burnt. That $3 was used to pay for hosting, right? And then from there, we saw another account, the same account from the top, sent money from this account at the bottom. Now the red one here is the really big account that has hundreds of thousands of dollars in it. So what we want to do now is we want to focus on this big account here, this one right here. So if we click on this, this has a lot of money in it, and it's been active for quite a long time, right? And ICP also just started like during the pandemic, during the 2020s, so this is relatively new. You won't see it go all the way back. But now we have a lot of data here. And what I like about these like free open source ICP dashboards is that you can basically go and do the suspicious, and it will tell you, like, help you try to identify the stuff. But now what we're doing is essentially, what we're going to do here is we're going to take this coin right here, and I searched this the other day on X, and basically this brings up the same thing that you can see here. And these basically pop up to NFTs. So someone's burning a bunch of NFTs in 2024, made a lot of money, and basically is $7,000 for an NFT. And so these accounts, this is how these accounts were funded. They were funded through burning NFTs. So now what we can do is we can basically pivot from here and try to track it. But now we're such a long way away from where we were just trying to track these things. So how is this unseizable, right? Is it really unseizable? So I want to show you something here. I think I missed it because the page didn't load. That's weird. One second. Apologies. Where is that? Okay. There we go. Okay, so this is how they see, the affiliates see their panel. So the thing about understanding cry0 is that they are heavily vetted to be a member. So when we did infiltration with cry0, so this was actually done by a collaborative effort and another researcher. And what we did was we took basically the recruitment time for entering ransomware. There's a specific window when when they first go on like ramp or tier 1 or rehab, and they're like, hey, we want to basically, we're looking for active penetration testers. Now, right now, affiliates are very, very sought after. Groups are struggling to get really good quality pen testers. I'm not talking about the skids. I'm not talking about the ones that try to do quick little attacks and things like that. I'm talking about the ones that can actually sustain a full attack chain. So these are the guys, these are the affiliates that can go in and basically do a full attack from start to finish, and also do the negotiations, provide their own initial access, and also think on their feet and be able to code their way through and use the latest exploits and use different CVEs and chain different things, privilege escalation, like the actual good stuff. Like, these attacks are getting harder and harder to find people to be able to conduct them. Now, it's also like, it's a tribute to how companies are actually doing a really good business, because the defenders are getting better and better. So we're actually doing some really good work on the defensive side to basically thwart these threat actors now, because they're struggling. For example, Chaos was basically saying the other week that they're implementing new restrictions on affiliates so that the minimum ransom payment that they will accept is 200,000 USD. And the reason for that is because you have new affiliates that come in, they're hungry, they want to get paid right away, so they will basically get a lowball offer of like $50,000, $10,000, $12,000 for basically extorting a payment. But the thing that happens now is that insurance companies understand and law enforcement understands that these negotiations happen, then they share their notes. And when they share their notes, this basically, this lowball offer gets tacked on to how much of a discount these groups can give, even though they're affiliates. And so now what's happening is that you're seeing these gangs essentially move all of this these minimum payments much higher now. So Chaos is doing this, Lockbit did this back in 2023, and now we're seeing even, for example, just yesterday, the gentleman, another ransomware as a service group, basically put out a thing saying that they will pay affiliates a 93 and a 7 split. So 7% for the gentleman, 93% of a ransom payment goes to the gentleman now if they're getting, if it's a data-only extortion. So when we're looking at basically cryo, they're moving towards ICP. They're trying really, really hard to make this a new standard for everyone. So let's go back to the disk now. Is this going to work now? Perfect. So when we look at essentially tracking all of this down, now that we know that they're using ICP, you can't really do much from there. And you can see that they're funneling this through burning NFTs or like the thing is like they can pay for this, hacking NFTs, grabbing their accounts, and then moving all of that money off to pay for these controllers, these canisters, and then they're mixing all of this. So it makes it an absolute nightmare to track. So how are we going to track this now? Like, I was thinking about this the other night because this replaces like hosting providers, it replaces IP addresses, it replaces everything, right? There's no DNS, there's no registrar, there's nothing, right? But it is still vulnerable to something. So NNS is the network nervous system of Definity. Definity is the central entity, the governing entity for all of this, like ICP and everything. So Definity Foundation still has emergency intervention capabilities towards these nodes because as I showed you before, Definity has the ability to flag certain transactions as suspicious, and what we can do is we can put a lot of pressure on Definity Foundation, similar to how like Telegram operates on TON, and basically what we can do is we can put pressure on this foundation and on similar foundations to flag and these like contracts, these transactions, and basically make these transactions not a thing, like they can't propagate through the network. So what do we do as defenders, right? So we want to basically look for, again, we want to protect against cryo. We want to protect like the standard ransomware. But what we can do is, if we're looking at seizing their infrastructure and we're looking at actually like capturing and looking for certain like known IOCs, we can look at basically the fingerprinting of like things that are going through ICP, things that are going through basically these, like there's a bunch of different ways to do it. So are you using canisters? Are you using, and there's also all these different gateways, right? So we want to look at all of these different things to essentially try to stop the propagation of cryo and how they're going to be able to do this. Yeah, so just in a quick recap, essentially what we're looking at is we're looking at node providers, we're looking at gateways, we're looking at different ways that, because when you do a knock and seize order on like a data center or something like that, like the data is there, but like when you look at, for example, with ICP, these are basically your distribution centers, right? So everything gets distributed everything gets mirrored instantly. So if you take down one of these data centers, you're not going to be able to go back, and you have to like take all of these down at the same time because your smart contract is going to get replicated everywhere at the same time. So there's really no chance at doing this. It's like going up against the blockchain. But again, we've done this before. We know how to handle this, and this is not a doomsday scenario. We just have to find new innovative ways. And one of those ways, as I said, is to collaborate and to work on Dfinity Foundation to really put pressure on them to be able to work with us. So, from Love with Canada, any questions?
So time for questions. You're allowed for questions. No one? Yeah.
You mentioned that Cry0 is really wanting to move ransomware as a service to ICP. Have you seen other groups also move towards ICP, or is it mainly just Cry0 for the moment?
Yeah, there's other groups. So there's another group called Blackfile that has also tried this. And there's other groups as well. The thing is that Cry0 is allegedly has connections to ALV, according to an interview that they had with VX Underground. And again, you take it with a grain of salt. There was no other references to it, even though when people mentioned it to them on ramp, they basically winked at it and they didn't want to elaborate on that, that was said. So the thing is also like there's groups that are trying different things. ETH hiding is another big thing where they're hiding payloads in transactions as well. So moving towards the blockchain to avoid seizures and avoid takedowns and avoid detection is definitely one of the ways that most groups are doing things. Another interesting way that I see is groups that are moving towards there's a lot of groups that are using BitTorrent to distribute their data more and more, and they're avoiding standardized hosting and centralized hosting a lot more. We're seeing groups also operating on I2P a lot more as well. So there's trying to spin up like DLS servers on there, dedicated leak sites on I2P now. So groups are trying, like in the past couple of years, law enforcement has been so good at taking down onions now that it has definitely made the threat actors think for a second and be like, okay, no, we got to be smarter about how we're doing things, because just spinning up like an Nginx server and going through Tor is not the way to do it. So now they're like thinking about smart contracts, they're thinking about ETH hiding, they're thinking about ICP, they're thinking about I2P. So they're really thinking about a bunch of different things.
No questions up there? No. Okay.